Peace, love, light, and blessings. This is Dr. K on tonight. And I just wanted to just share this with you guys. As I was cooking today, I kept hearing why do we condition ourselves to settle? Why do we continue to settle for people, places, things, and situations when God has already promised us nothing but the best? We often settle because our experiences have taught us to believe that less is all we deserve. Repeated rejection teaches us to lower our expectations. Trauma teaches us to cling to what feels familiar, even if it's unhealthy. Disappointment teaches us to stop hoping. Loneliness convinces us that something is better than nothing. Delay makes us question whether God's promises will ever come. Fear tells us that if we let go of the wrong thing, we may never receive the right one. Over time, these experiences create an internal belief system that says, this is probably the best I'll ever get. I don't want to start over. At least I have something. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe God's promises was never really for me. And without realizing it, we begin to train ourselves to accept counterfeit blessings. What does it mean to condition yourself? Conditioning is repeated exposure that shapes your beliefs and responses. Just as athletes train their bodies, life experiences train our souls. When you repeatedly tolerate disrespect, remain in toxic relationships, accept inconsistent treatment, ignore red flags, and compromise your standards, you begin to normalize dysfunction. What once disturbed you eventually becomes comfortable. What God called beneath you starts to feel familiar, and familiarity can masquerade as destiny. The mind, body, spirit, heart, and soul connection. Mind. This is, and I went into this because I just want to give a brief synopsis of all of this. Your thoughts create your expectations. If you believe you are unworthy, you will unconsciously choose what reflects that belief. Your heart stores wounds, disappointments, and unmet desires. An unhealed heart often confuses attachment with love. Your soul includes your mind, will, and emotions. If your soul is wounded, your choices will be driven by pain rather than purpose. Your spirit is where God speaks. When your spirit is aligned with the Holy Spirit, you gain discernment to reject what God has already rejected. Your body carries the stress of settling, anxiety, exhaustion, insomnia, and chronic tension. Those are signs of internal misalignment. So why do many of us keep connecting to what God said no? Sometimes we are trying to resurrect what God buried. We revisit relationships, jobs, partnerships, opportunities, and environments that God intentionally closed because they were not part of His best for us. But because our emotions are louder than our faith, we mistake comfort for confirmation. Just because something is available does not mean it is assigned and it is aligned to your destiny. The epistle to the Ephesians 3 verse 20 says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think according to the power that works in us. This means God's plan is not minimum. It is not barely enough. It is not survival mode. God's intention is abundance, alignment, and fulfillment. When we settle, we accept just enough. when God promised exceedingly abundantly above. And these are signs you are still conditioned to settle. You excuse behavior that violates your standards. You remain where there is no peace. You feel afraid to release unhealthy connections. You repeatedly attract the same patterns. You confuse struggle with destiny. Whew. You feel guilty for wanting more, and you call crumbs a feast. Now, how to break the conditioning? You got to recognize the pattern. Awareness is the first step towards transformation. 2, renew your mind. The epistle to the Romans 12 verse 2 teaches that transformation happens by renewing your mind daily. Heal your heart is number 3. Allow God to address the root wounds that taught you to accept less. Raise your standards is number 4. Your standards should reflect God's promises, not your past pain. Let go of counterfeits. Release what is familiar so you can receive what is ordained, and trust divine timing. Delay is not denial. God often removes the wrong things before revealing the right ones. And the prophetic truth: you are not called to survive on scraps. You are not assigned to chase what God never approved. You are not destined to repeat cycles of disappointment. You are being reconditioned by heaven to expect what aligns with your purpose. God is breaking the mindset of scarcity and replacing it with expectation of abundance. And so I just wanted to bring people into an awakening awareness that you got to move out of the conditioning of settling for less. And I want you guys to click on my link tree where you can get to the podcast that has snippets, the unfiltered stories from Dr. K that will be releasing May 31st. My websites to my health and wellness, Kingdom Global Initiative, as well as the Prophetic Lounge where I do poetry. This is a time to where it is time to awaken in a way that we see the promises of God, till we see prosperity, overflow, abundance, healing, deliverance, settlement, establishment, joy, peace, happiness, clarity. And I'm here as a sent one, mouthpiece and vessel of the Most High God, to help people draw to Him, to receive what He has for them. So stay encouraged on tonight. Peace, love, light, and blessings. Dr. K signing out.